Hey LEGO fans, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to build set 21325 Medieval Blacksmith for you. I'm Jeremy and you're watching Sherwood Forest Bricks.
LEGO number 21325 Medieval Blacksmith is based on the LEGO Ideas project by Clemens Fiedler, submitted in 2017 and achieved support in July of 2019. So it has been a long time from initial idea to the set on the shelves and is now retired. This set includes 2,164 elements and retails for $179.99 in the United States. Overall, it's 30 by 23 centimeters and the building stands 28 centimeters tall. The ground floor is constructed from stone and houses a workshop and a forge, which can be accessed from inside and out. A stone staircase leads to the half-timbered first floor living quarters. A bent and gnarled apple tree stands by the house and a well is situated beneath it. The stone arch under the stairs leads to a timber store. A green frog sits in the tree, a nod or an Easter egg to the bonsai tree and its designer, Nick Bass. The first floor overhangs the ground floor at the back, held up with 4 sturdy stanchions. Underneath, you'll find a small vegetable patch in which a pumpkin is growing. The heavy stonework on the corners of the building is constructed using a technique that takes advantage of the fact that 1x2 tiles can be positioned off-grid, which allows them to be aligned where they meet the tiles at right angles to them. The blacksmith's wife is a keen archer, so there is a target on the side of the apple tree for her to aim at. Half-timbered houses were typically constructed using wattle and daub, which was a whitewashed appearance that had been captured effectively here. The curved timbers on the corners add interest and look attractive, although the majority of buildings probably do not have them. The roof, which has a concave bend on both sides, is made of pentagonal shields first seen in Nexonite sets to represent tiles, and the result is very effective. There are a few gaps on one side where tiles have been lost over time. The sand green patches on the top are apparently moss, although that is more likely to affect all tiles rather than just patches. A stone chimney stack carries smoke from the forge and interior fireplaces to the top of the house to be discharged through 2 tiny pots at the top. An anvil is provided for the smith to carry out work outside, and he is currently working on a long sword, which is being heated up on the hot coals, and the forge includes a light brick inside, which is operated by pressing the bellows on the side of it. The sign over the forge is printed. There are no stickers in this set. In addition to the building, the set also includes a 4-wheel horse-drawn cart, transporting 2 black falcon knights and their armor, weapons, and a sack. 4 minifigs are included to bring the set to life: the blacksmith, his wife, and the 2 knights. Helmets, weapons, and shields, 2 including the one in the cart, are provided for both knights. The updated horse has movable hind legs and has not been produced in tan before. It makes a pleasant change from the white, brown, and black. The printed bridle looks crisp and superb. The pieces to fill the gap when the harness is removed are included in the set. The wood store is a feature that is practically hidden away behind the tree in the completed model, but you can clearly see it as the ground floor takes shape. The building is constructed in a modular fashion in 3 sections, with the tops of the walls tiled to allow the parts to be stacked and removed with ease. The workshop area has tools hanging on the wall and a selection of the craftsman's wares alongside a pan, a cauldron, and a helmet.
Alright, question of the day: what set should we build and review for you next? We have 3 options. We have 75337, the ATTE tank. This is currently heavily discounted and retiring this year, so we can build and review that. Alright, there's also 10332, the Medieval Village. This one came out this year. We only have 1 copy, but we are willing to build it for you. So we can do this one as a build and review. Or we have 10211, the Grand Emporium. And this will go part of our city build. So this one obviously is way retired. But we can open this and do a build and review for you as well. So hit me down below. Which one do you think we should do next time? ATTE, Medieval Village, Grand Emporium. Your choice. Back to the build.
A second anvil is situated in the center with a molten hot orange glowing iron ingot on top. On the other wall there's a box containing more ingots armor, and shield on the wall. Above, a stock of coal and coke for the forge in the corner. The first floor is occupied by a kitchen table and a water barrel in the corner. Two attractively upholstered chairs are positioned around the table, which has been set for dinner with a turkey leg and greens. A staircase provides access to the second floor and attic. The awning on the side above the forge employs some clever geometry involving a large quarter-circle tile to hold it at the right angle. The stove is positioned within a chimney stack, and a hearth in front provides space for cooking. There's a chopping board and utensils to the right, and a butter churner in the corner on the left. Good use has been made of the space without it looking crowded. The 3x3 chairs are perhaps a bit on the large side, although they do look great and feature some nice part usage involving axes. A bedroom is situated in the attic, and already you can see as an interesting feature an animal skin rug on the floor. The bed looks fit for a king, with a delightful bedspread covering it with very ornate decorations at the foot. A writing table occupies the other end of the room. The wooden framework along the edges is pinned to the building using Technic axles. A chest houses a rucksack and a round gold 1x1 tile printed with a compass, a throwback to the designer who spends his non-Lego free time exploring the outdoors. The sides of the roof are constructed separately and then simply rested on the main structure into the wells formed by the tan 1x2 panels on the floor. One side is held in place by a dormer and a chimney stack, and the other is not secured at all and can be easily removed to access the interior. The three sub-assemblies simply stack on top of each other as they do in modular buildings, held in place by a handful of studs. One observation I have is the lavishness of the interior. A blacksmith looks to be doing rather well for himself to be able to afford such fancy, soft furnishings, including the boarskin rug, an extravagant bed frame, and turkey for dinner. It's a shame he can't hire someone to fix the roof. It's a beautifully detailed and attractive standalone model that is sure to grace your LEGO display. It's certainly one of the best castle-themed sets and further proof that LEGO Ideas continues to deliver some of the best sets that LEGO produces.
we go. That's the that is the Blacksmith, and it includes 4 minifigures and a canine companion. We have a knight, a squire, an archer, the Blacksmith himself, and then a cart with a horse, and of course the Blacksmith, which includes the basement where the blacksmith shop is, the second floor, or realistically it's the main floor, and that includes the kitchen area, and then of course the bedroom is upstairs. Now, overall impression, this was a very enjoyable build. Like I said, it includes a lot of details along the base, all the way around the building. It's not really a base plate per se, it's more of a brick built, but we have, you know, small little things with a little garden over here, and then of course the blacksmith forge itself, which also includes the light brick that is activated by pressing the well, I don't know what that's actually called, the air blower thingy. I'll put it on the screen, it actually has a name. And then we have the anvil and a little workstation outside, of course, and then stairs up to the main floor, an apple tree, which includes on the backside, a target here for practice with the archer. And then, of course, we finish off the backside. And then if we take apart carefully, sometimes they're a little difficult to pop apart. On the inside, of course, it included a brick-built door, which I thought was unique as well. And on the inside, we have a table in the back here, the forge in the, or the forge, but the anvil in the middle, and then just some stuff on the wall there. It included a I dropped that. It includes a coal bin for firing the forge, and then there's actually a little grinding wheel here, and then some armor on the wall, shield, helmet, and then we just have some more tools on the one side. So I thought that was pretty unique as far as interior content goes. Really liked the effect that it had a brick built door, and then of course underneath the stairs we have a little bit of firewood in there as well. And then the well, the apple tree, and then in true fashion of a good mock, we have lots of different types of bricks used, different colorations. You know, we didn't really stray from more than one color. So the theme of the basement, obviously it's a stone or brick built basement, and that would be gray with accented in the darker gray. And then we have various colors of green. Would include the moss or mold, not mold, sorry, the moss that's growing on the stone structure. Then we have obviously plants around the outside, etc. And then the other color being the brown with the timber, and that includes around the windows, you know, the sills and such, etc. So we'll set that aside, and then we'll go back to the main floor, of course. Now, it's typical. The structure is basically synonymous with a timber frame. That's what all the brown accents are, is basically the timber frame, and then they're infilled with slat wall or plaster or something like that. And the Lego does a good job of representing that. Of course, we have a kitchen table, a couple of brick-built chairs, excuse me. We have a hearth with a pot on it, and then of course there's some food prep area where we're cutting the carrot. And then on the other side here, you can see that we have the brick-built door, which I thought was good, and it also matches the one downstairs. And then underneath the stairs, we have a keg for most likely some sort of mead. And then if we go to the second floor, the roof structure made with the shield tiles, and then of course we have various colors, and then some sort of moss or a lichen growing on the roof itself. And then if we pull off one of these, we can see inside the interior we have some sort of animal rug. There was no head on it, so it's really hard to say. And now, of course, the brick-built bed, And then in the corner there, little area for taking notes with his quill in the window area there as well. And then there is a tiny little fireplace in the back, but only the one in the basement is illuminated with the light brick. So, and that, as they say, is that. And then of course the roof actually pops in really easy. So, all right. So I don't really have a scale of building, or not building, but how to review a set. I haven't really worked on it as far as that goes. Typically, we want to see piece count, so we're above 2,000 pieces, and then of course the price point that matters. So, is the piece, the price per piece consistent with a typical Lego set? Yes. The piece usage, of course, is another aspect of a good build. And like I said, in the basement area and in the other portion of the build as well, we have different textures of bricks we're bringing in different colors. So we have a contrasting white and tan in the what would be the stucco portion of the build, and then we have in the brown, or the, excuse me, in the basement we have the dark gray and light gray representing the stonework. And then we even have the olive as well, which is, like I said, some sort of moss growing on the stone structure. And then, of course, the same up top with the sand green is most likely the same concepts, is lichen or moss growing on the roof structure itself. Now, it is most likely a slate tile roof representation, so as far as that goes, it hits all those major points. We have high piece count, or not a high piece count, but a good price point per piece. It is a high piece set. We have a varying usage of the brick and plate within the structure itself. The only thing that I don't really see that this build would do to set off itself is, a lot of times we like to see a piece or a unique piece that's used in an irregular fashion. So that would be the only lacking of this set, is that it's not using a piece that's outside its normal use. For example, if you were to use a tire for a chimney, or a wheel for a chimney, that is using a piece that's outside its normal usage, right? I've seen other people that have used various things, and but it is fun to see Lego elements used outside of what they're originally designed for. Like we see in what was that set I built, the Botanical Garden, where we have the we had frogs, right? We had pink frogs used in the branches of the trees. Or if you have the bonsai tree, right? We were replacing the greenery with the pink and the dark pink foliage, and of course they use the frogs in place. So that's using a item outside the norm. Now, Lego in true fashion did include one frog in the tree, so that is another like a Easter egg. They like to keep a frog in every set, right? So they use as many frogs as possible. One of the wives said that for every time they use a frog in an official Lego set, she bakes them some sort of cake or pastry. So it's always fun to see a frog used in a Lego set, because then you see that, obviously, that somebody's getting cake and I'm not getting any cake, and I would like some cake. So, but other than that, the 5 minifigures, obviously we had a knight, and then his squire, and then we had the archer, like I said before, and the blacksmith, and then a K9. Now, it's a little husky, which is fine. You don't really typically see those in old blacksmith era films and such, but hey, it is what it is, right? I did feel that the cart was a little bit bigger than I would have liked to see. It is more of a 9 wide cart, and so we would either need to have 2 horses or a smaller cart. So I kind of felt that was a little bit outside the norm. But I did. I haven't seen the opposable horses before, so the rear ends obviously move, so the horse can stand up. That's not something I've seen before. All my other horses were from the 80s, and they're all fixed in the exact same way. The head obviously does go up and down, but that is the limit to what I'm used to. So, all in all, a great set. I think if I were to rate this set on a scale of 1 to 10, it would have to be closer to that 9. Yeah, probably a 9. There are things that I could see having done better, and but this is far beyond what I have typically seen in a Lego set. So now, granted, I'm comparing that to the other sets I built, which were Star Wars and Friends and some city sets, and those are usually built to a certain price point because of the audience or the market that they're marketing to. I felt this was actually marketed towards people that had castles, right? This was a castle theme or a castle era type set, and I think they did a very well job. So I'm sorry to say that this set is retired, and but if you have the opportunity, like I said, I picked this one up at a Barnes & Noble, and if you happen to go through there and you find this set, I would pick that up before it hits the secondary market and the price goes through the roof, which I'm sure it already has. I haven't looked at it, but it was a good build. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in with us and watching us build the medieval blacksmith. Like I said, it's a great addition to any castle theme that you have put together, or a standalone display on a shelf would be just fine as well. And let us know how you felt. Do you have this set? Have you built it before? Is it something on your bucket list that you need to acquire? Are you going to go out and pick up this set based on my review? Let us know down below. And while you're down there, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out and lets us continue to make this kind of content. So, from all of us at Sherwood Forest Bricks, thanks for watching today, and hopefully you have a good one. Take care, everybody.